My name is Swaroop. So I will be discussing with you the next few classes and the overall the content course which are going to be learn about the data science topic. And as we know, so we are going to be discuss on Python, data science, which includes the statistics and machine learning, along with the GCP, Google Cloud Platform, right? So first of all, thanks everyone to showing your interest. So let us start with the course and myself as I uh, introduced myself yesterday already. So myself, By Swaroop, I have totally 6 years of experience in the industry and working as data scientist. And past 2.5 years, I have been in the teaching field. So I have trained multiple people in the corporate and also as in the personal batches and from the institute wise even. And I have the people throughout the world, like so people who are already joined and learned the courses and who already placed in the jobs in terms of a data analyst and business analyst, data scientist, and machine learning engineer, and demand forecasting engineer, which is a recent person he already joined. And why GCP also, I already explained about the importance, right? So nowadays, cloud is very much important to proceed with the works, and everyone is migrating to the cloud. So that's why it's much easier and also much important and demanded to learn about the cloud concepts. So everything will be discussed serially. So one after one step manner. Okay. So let me present my screen. Please confirm if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Thank you. Yeah, so we are just having the introduction about the data science concept, right? And we have already just the demo about the data science. And here we just rewind few topics. So what is the purpose of data science and what actually what it is meaning, right? So a scientific art of doing anything meaningful with data that makes business decision making more accurate and easier. So that is the concept of data science. So what it is explaining about and term derived that the term data science has been traced back to 1974 when Peter Noor proposed it as an alternative name for computer science actually. So and also and formally the data scientists are called as statisticians. I think you already heard about the concept of or the name called statistics and statistician, right? So in previous days and in older days, actually, the people who are already working as statisticians, so with the help of minimal competition power and also minimal resources they have to compute. So nowadays, the person is easily able to do the all our operations with the help of higher configuration and higher performance and able to handle the huge amount of the data, right? And they can apply a lot of algorithms and calculations to get the meaningful insight or the summarized content. So that's why they are named as data scientists nowadays. And data science application can be built with the combination of computer technology, machine learning, domain knowledge. So in computer technology, the programming languages such as we have Python or SAS, especially developed for so data science and statisticians. So R and SAS are these are the analytical called as analytical tools even, and also so that are data science programming languages. But Python is for all-rounder. It's like an all-rounder where we can use it for the scripting language to develop the websites and apps along with the AI-related products. So at multi-level actually and tools like so we can use Excel, Tableau, Power BI, and MATLAB. So in our course, actually we're gonna be discuss the complete in and out of the core and advancement of Python. So and their packages and libraries which are helping us to ease our job in terms of the performance also, and Excel for the easy explainability and MATLAB. It's not purely MATLAB. So for visualization, actually we'll be use the open source Matplotlib actually, which is developed by MATLAB and machine learning. So actually, for predictive analytics, to find out the future importance of product, and if you are providing some discount to the product, so how much sales it will be happen, and what is the weather forecast. That means the tomorrow's day after tomorrow or 1 year later. So how will be the temperature and then winds be rainfall, and how will be the stock price will be increase or decrease, whether to buy or sell at what price. So some kind of the forecasting, the future related content purpose, and also the newest value defining purpose. We use predictive analytics. In that, mainly it is considering as machine learning. The name itself, name machine learning, how human beings learning the concepts and analyzing the content to draw on the derived output. So the same way we used to train the machines with the help of few algorithm methods. So in those, actually they are categorized into three levels. One is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So, and along with the computer technology and machine learning, it's better a data scientist or a analyst should have the knowledge of domain knowledge, right? Because we are working in, if you are working on top of only data, we don't know the requirement even. So we have to work only with the data to draw the insights or define the insights from the given information. So that's fine. But you are involving in the business also to drive the decision making, right? Such guys. So you are working as a manager in the DMart chain, complete chain actually. So to identify, and you have to send a report or suggestion to each and every branch for weekly level. So which of the products are, which of the, how much quantity you have to maintain for this time, for this season, or for this festival, right? So you can analyze it from the past year's data for each and every product level, and what are the top 10 performance of the products for each and every branch, right? Each and every location. So that kind of information you can analyze and you can spread it to the individual branches, right? So in that case, actually, it's better as a stock keeping person, as a manager, it's better at least. So 5% of the knowledge also that is related to domain knowledge, if we have, that will be help us, because not all the time stocks prices will be analyzed in correct way, right? Because might be our business growing very well, but with the impact of the exogenous factors, that means outer factors. So my your business is growing very well, but your stock prices is currently going down. That means because of the inflation rate. So that's not your issue. So it's a global issue because of the recession, and because of there is a demand in the product which you're selling, right? The products are not available. The source is not available here, stock. So that's why it's better to we can maintain the stock, or whether we have to increase or decrease. So complete the decision is in our hand. So for the purpose, so when you are involving the business, it's better. We should have the minimal domain knowledge, right? And so, yeah, it's completely. So this is a complete clear picture of the data science from, right? So computer science, mathematics and statistics, and domain knowledge and business. So where the cycle will be, will have the each and every combination, like computer science to domain knowledge, a software development will be designed an application, and with help of the statistics and domain knowledge, a traditional research, what we are doing in about the market analysis even, an example. And with the help of statistics plus computer science combination, we will have machine learning derived actually. It can be developed. So this is the complete combination of data science. So this is the life cycle of data science, where first of all, we have to understand the business requirement. It is not only about the data science in real-time scenarios also, right? So first of all, we gather the requirement to develop an application or do some product development, or if you're working in the production industry. So first of all, you have to gather the requirement, understand it, then gather the raw material, which is the data mining concept. So we have to gather the data, and we have to pre-process with help of data cleaning process, right? So we have the material to design a beautiful product to provide some shape. So we have to uh, have some tools to draw in a very high level structure, right? So which you are expecting. And data exploration. So how the behavior of the data even. And feature engineering. What are the methods and what are the important features that we have to extract from the given data. And predictive modeling. So wherever we apply the machine learning models to train the machine. So on top of this cleaned data and generalized data. and visualize the data, right? So of course, we are a developer. So when you are working on the modeling part, might be you can understand the results and you can summarize the results to drive the decision making. But let's consider I'm a non-technical guy, and if you have to explain to me, or clients are non-technical, or even the management and is non-technical, if you're considering aspect. So if you want to explain them what is the requirement according to that, what the data we have gathered, and from that what we understand from the historical information, and what is the output we received. So this is how you can easily explain with the help of a beautiful visualizations. So considering if I draw this content, the step-by-step content of the life cycle in a text. So step 1, step 2, step 3, if I draw that in a normal text content, it will be some little bit confused to identify, right? But when we provide this in terms of the donut chart, so a visualization format, so a step-by-step is derived here individually, right? So it will easy to understand, and some kind of with help of the coloring and picturization, it will show improve our interest to identify the whatever the content is providing here. So that is the help of visualization, that is the importance, right? So it is about to transform the data, right? Transform the data, so from raw data into the summarized content. So since these are the articles wherever we have each and every news, so considering in the website or in the Google News or in any newspaper like Hindustan Times or Times of India, like that. So to summarize the content, actually we first of all we are taking the one particular article, not all the articles. So in a serial in sequence manner, one after one article we can derive. So then we can read the content. We can't read all the articles at the same time, right? So the same way how human brain is learning the one after one article to summarize the content. So we will be make it in a very sequence manner. The same we will be trying to the machine also. So we have to collect the one after one article, then summarize the content, make it in a very easy format. So the present day tools and also present day algorithms also working the same way. See, this is another example of the visualization content where the data plus science from the raw data, we can extract the information that we are presenting in format of visualization, the complete. So considering here we have India age breakdown. So in 2021, so we have the age range, right? So if we have the data of the Indian population, right? So you have the age range and how much percentage of the total population we have. So that content I can might be provided with help of text, just like so age is under 15. So there is 25% or 25.4% of the population between the range of 15 to 29. So 26.4% of the population. Like the same way, might be I can provide that in a line by line, just like in a text content, or I can draw that in a table content, just with help of age column and also percentage column. So age and percentage. So in one row we have the under 15, the value, and according to that how much percentage it is. But by seeing that, so the content, it will be some a little bit difficult to identify and understand the patterns. But when you're visualizing the total content, so with kind of these shots, right, these plots actually, then it will be easy to understand by other each and everyone, right? So with help of these colors, the beautiful visualization, and we can we can store the information with easy of concept actually, right? So for the long time. So this is another example. So to create the down shots even. And so far we are discussing about the data, right? So first of all, we have to understand what are the structures of data, right? Structures of data. So we have data in the formats of different structures, which is CSV files, TSV, and along with that semi-structure, we have JSON, Avro, ORC, Parquet, and XML files. So unstructured data, we have text, images, videos, PDF, etc. So the name itself, how if you are remembering that, so CSV and TSV files are, so we can open that in the Excel files also. So Excel softwares even, and along with that semi-structured files. So yeah, AVRO and also ORC along with the Parquet. So this kind of a bytecode structures. So it will difficult to open the files in particular softwares. So we have the libraries to deal with this kind of files. So, but what is the importance? What is the difference between these and each and every the structure of the file, right? So that will be showcased here. So this is the structured data. This is the structured data, which is a combination of rows, rows, and columns. So we have columns, right? And each and every combination is rows, right? Each row is considering as one observation or one record, right? So that record actually will have the relation of the each and every person. So it's a kind of here we have the student name. The student name is called as Vijay, and the student ID and mail ID. So this one particular row having its own related information, the individual information, by having the patterns, right? Along the same time, so we have the multiple student names and their relevant details. So this is how we store the data in form of structured. So that's it. But this is considering as a table structure. To the formatting wise, we have .excel sx especially. So .excel sx means that's a Excel data. So to the front end structure, it is seems like an Excel data only, normal table content only. So, but why the CSV data and the TSV data is important to know, right? So then just give me a minute. I will be showcase the content. Yeah, I think you are able to see my screen. So considering, so this is the a table structure. So with combination of rows and columns, we have rows and columns, right? So here I'm just want to store this whatever the formatting. So considering I have make the formats into bold and I have expanded the column size, right? I have expanded the column size and along the time. So whatever the columns are, column names are in the bold, right? So the all the content. So some formatting I have applied some formatting in terms of the letter characteristics and also the colors to the columns and some column widths. So this is I'm just saving like this, right? So along the time, I just want to apply a color, something like, for example, a color, right? Let's consider this. So I will be close this and yeah. So okay, let me open that again. See, so if I close and reopen, how it seems like it having its own formatting structure. So whatever the last time we have created the format and it have stored in the same formatting, and now I will be save it as with other formats, right? So just I want to be stored in the, I have created a folder called class, my local folder. Now I will be convert that into CSV, comma, separated value. Okay. So let's, now, so you can see this, right? So how it seems to be. So when we have created the Excel dot, the format called dot Excel SX dot XLSX. So when I created this format file, the data was stored in the concept of, so how the format is created. So this is the actual format, what we have created. So the file size of, I think you are unable to see my folder, right? Hello, team. Can you please confirm?
Yeah, unable to say. Only the Excel we are able to see.
All right. So let me showcase the my folder also. All right. So you can see this, right? So we have Excel SX format, first of all, in the type. So the file size of the Excel SX is 11 KB because here we have the format is added, right? So the formatting is added in terms of, so column width, and also the column names are, and the first row is bold characters along with some colors, something we have added extra along with the information. So the data we have added extra. So these coloring patterns and everything will be increased its code at the backend of Excel. So there automatically it will be increasing the file size also. But the CSV file, which is known as Excel file, XLS files also. So currently I'm using the WPS software. So here in WPS and also in Google Sheet. So Excel file, CSV files are saving the format of XLS and along the side CSV from the Google Sheet. And if you are using the Microsoft Word, it will be directly shown as CSV file, actually CSV file, which is comma separated value, right? So then you can see, so after I saved as in the CSV file, so it lost its the original nature of the file. So it have stored only the data. There is no column width, so any kind of formatting like colors and bold characters, nothing is saved, right? So let's see how the backend data is looks like for the CSV file. Let me open that um, in Notepad. So Notepad will provide you the actual information, right? The raw information. See, so why what is the CSV means? Comma separated value, right? So you can see the values of each and every column with comma separated. You can see this, right? So considering this is a one first row, here each value is divided by comma separated. So is empty space is also considered as one particular cell, right? Considering here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? The same way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So like the same way, wherever the values we have in the order, right? In terms of the columns wise, in terms of the row wise, the values are in the order. But here, let me save this file, right? Let me save this file in class folder only. So do you want to replace? No. For my reference, I'm storing, right? So now the data is very less. So wherever you can see this, now it is stored as a CSV file. So when I open this with the notebook, right, automatically the file name is converted. So this is how it is happening internally. And this is saved as text document now, right? So the files, how it's saved now, the size of the file here is CSV 2 KB and here is 2 KB. Both, there is no much difference. Obviously, there is no difference here because the file size, when I'm trying to open this file with one particular software, right? So like I'm opening with the WPS software where it will be provide some structure to the data. So that's why where at the time might be it will try to increase the formatting concept. And when I open this with a plain content, when I open with the plain content, the text document is also having the 2 KB. That means the file, the data in the file have stored with the directly raw content. Seems like a text only. Seems like a text only. So that's what it is. Comma separated value. And for the tab separated value, um, let me check. So does it have the tab separated value format or not? TSV. All right, sorry. So here the TSV format is not there. So what TSV means? It's called the values are which are divided by comma, separated by comma is known as comma separated value. And at the same time, when the value is separated by tab space, just like this, tab space is known as tab separated value. This is what about. But in the industry, we mostly communicated with comma separated values because there are very less softwares that you can also see WPS, right? So WPS is not having the feature to accept the tab separated value files. But some comma separated value is most commonly using in every software in every way to transfer that API data, to transfer to the different locations. And in terms of the file size, right? In terms of the file size also, CSV is very less size when compared to XLS, right? So if you are only concentrating on the data transformation, so data transferring, so then you can focus on the CSV, but not the time. So I have to make it format, right? So to where it can explain to others also, right? To the team members or to the other people. So if our formatting will be provide some understanding, then it's better to store the file in terms of Excel SX, which is proper Excel file. So with formatting. So but here the file size will be obviously will increase because of the formatting at the back end, right? So this is the difference between comma separated value and tab separated value. When to use, where to use, right? So but nowadays actually most of the people using the comma separated value because they are completely focusing on data. And in our case also, if you are focusing on completely data, not in the formatting, because you are reading the data in Python libraries. In Python libraries, whatever the format you have or don't have, it will only read the data, not format in Python libraries and any other software also. In that case, it's better we can use CSV file because the latency time of the file reading is very less, performance high, along with the data storage size also very less. Understood, right? And now we'll be move with our presentation. So this is about the structured data. Structured data is just with the combination of rows and columns. Now it's come to semi-structured data. Semi-structured data. So here also we have the name called structured, but it is semi. Why? Because actually whatever the information you have seen here, right? So student name, student ID, mail ID, and each row is divided by a bracket, a curly bracket, a curly bracket. So it have one name. Actually, you will get to know in the next classes what's the actual name. Might be few people already know. That's fine. So it have closed with the curly bracket. So here we have the information, right? So each row, I'm sorry, uh, we are discussing. Yeah, here we are discussing. So in this row, whatever the value we have, each value you can consider. So student name is one column, student ID one column, S001, and mail ID one column, right? We vijay@gmail.com. And here, so we have the another rows also which are saved in curly brackets, and each bracket is divided by a comma. You know this file structure called JSON file. JSON file. So it's a file structure actually. It's a structure called JSON structure. So it have its own structure where it will be store the data in curly brackets and the complete data in square bracket. It will close the complete data with square bracket, and each and every line, each and every line within the curly bracket, right? So this is how it's stored the data, and the extension of the extension of the data is also the file structure is also JSON file. JSON file. That's it. And along with that, we have other softwares, other file formats also, right? AVRO, ORC, Parquet, and XML. So considering JSON data, so JSON data is also stored that only a plain data, right? Like CSV file. So that's why it is also having the very less size format. So very less file format. So considering JSON file is also having the 2 KB. So considering 2 KB, right, the file size. But when it comes to AVRO, ORC, and Parquet files, so these CSV, JSON, XLS, and also even in some softwares like in Microsoft Excel, even TSV is also be accept the file structures, the file formats. But there are very limited softwares, even other programming languages. So there are very limited languages where it can be read AVRO, ORC, and Parquet files directly, because it have compressed in a closed loop. So considering, so we have to transfer the data, right? So considering I have to transfer these 3 data, but so the file size, let's consider, is incompatible with your the transfer data size. So considering if you are having the data around 1 GB, the combination, assume these 3 file sizes are 1 GB, but when you're transferring data in WhatsApp or with other transfer softwares, so transformation softwares, so they won't be allowed us to transfer 1 GB of the data in the combination, right? So in terms of Gmail, wherever. So then what we try to do, we can try to compress the individual file, or we can try to compress all the files, so to the compatible manner where we can transfer the data easily, right? The files are easily. So here also the file sizes of, right, the file sizes of Avro, ORC, and Parquet, these are these natures also will try to compress the data, but that convert all the data into the byte coding. So they store the data in machine language actually. So in the byte coding in the compressed versions. So that's why the file size of the so AVRO, ORC, and Parquet also very less compared to CSV and JSON files. So here the files when we are dealing with the huge amount of data, that means big data, like kind of we have every day we are receiving the 1 crore records. Considering you are working in the Google, you are working in the Microsoft or any other product data generation companies. So every day you used to receive the huge amount of data, right? So around 1 crore records. So the file sizes are huge. Like the same way, every day from past 1 year, you are receiving the huge amount of file sizes, means it will be very difficult to analyze and handle the data in data storage locations. Then at the time, so people like us, so we can store the data in AVRO and ORC files. So where it can be stored the file size files in very less storage system, right? So that will be the advantage of these three formats. And XML, everyone already know about the XML structures, where we can use it as a data transferring and also APIs, whatever. And JSON also we can use this file format structures in APIs. So application programming interface. So I will be just give you one introduction about that API also. It's not a part of data science job, but it's better to know. So when we are converting into different fields in software engineering, right? And along with the unstructured data. Unstructured data means you already So those are related to web forms, surveys, charts, mails, images, videos, PDF files, etc., etc., where you couldn't read the data. You couldn't read the data. So some kind of I'm typing something. Consider it as a one news article or any text, a blah blah text. So does it have any format, right? Considering if it is a structured format, means the data should be stored in this structured manner, where they have the reference column names and they have the IDs and structure related information, right? Some relations it have. So when it comes to semi-structured data, of course it having the relations. So with individual format storage, but does it have any structure? Does it have any structure? No, right? So this is a plain text content. This is a plain text content. So you don't have the structure. That's why we are calling it as unstructured data. That's it. So we are calling this as unstructured data, right? So where the images. So I'm capturing my picture. So my picture, does it have any structure? Might be the backend pixels have the structure, but at the front end, I'm just normal person. I'm a user. I don't know the backend, right? I don't know the backend concept. I can just see the picture only, so I can understand what it means. So does my face have any structure? The capturing the captured picture? No, right? So that's why it is called as unstructured. Around the same time, the PDF files. Along the same time, we have the videos and text contents, right? So on. So it is easy to identify, right? The unstructured data even. There we have, along with the structures of data, it's better to understand types of data even. So where we have the primary data and secondary data, right? The primary data is the which collecting or gathering data for first time. Collecting or gathering the data for the first time. Suppose take a scenario here. We are working in the social media or any media company, right? So I just want to take I'm a reviewer, movie reviewer, right? So I used to provide the reviews to each and every movie. So to take the reviews for the first time for a movie and I want to advertise in my website. So what I can do, there are simply different ways, whether you can provide Google Forms or any other survey forms, so that you can circulate in your circle, the person who already watched the movie. So then you can gather the data from them. Otherwise, so which is most commonly using concept is either we have to go to the movie theaters. So after completion of the movie, you can ready with your mic and we can gather the data. So have you watched the movie? So what's your what's your interest, how you are feeling the movie is. So they can provide the rating along with the some explanation, so that you are gathering the data for the first time. Let's suppose you are already done the job, you already gathered the data, you already have some surveys. Again, it's difficult for me. Might be I woke up late today. So, but I have to provide some content in my website also. What I do? So I have requested you. I have requested you. Then might be you are my friend. So that's why you already you have given the data to me. So with free of cost or by charging something, right? So it have saved my time even, right? So that is known as secondary data. The data which is already collected, already existed with us is known as secondary data. And the data which is the first time you are gathering, that is known as primary data. So simple. So we are collecting the data for the first time means that's a primary data, and secondary data means so where you are when you are already have existed the data. Some considering client have its business requirement. They want to identify top performing products from the last year in their store. So if they are running the fashion retailer related store like L'Oreal. L'Oreal is a beauty products company, right? So actually, L'Oreal company used to manufacture multiple products, multiple beauty products. So they wants to identify the top performing in terms of the sales and quantity. So they wants to identify what are the top 10 performing products. So they have given the data. So without the client providing the data, you couldn't analyze their business, right? You couldn't analyze their business. So we couldn't recommend to the client. So which are the top performing products by simply seeing from the website? That will be very difficult. So that in that case, better the client only provided their business data, then we can analyze and return back with the solution or the requirement what they're expected, right? So that is the example of the secondary data event. So key types and methods for data collection. So statistical collection, surveys, polls, Delphi technique we have. So focus group, text here. So along with the same. So this is for primary data collection. Or you can phone your friend. You can call to your friend. You can create a Google form simply with free of cost from your Google account, and you can share it with your community through mails, through WhatsApp, through any other social media platform, right? And collecting the secondary data. So through the financial reports, which are paid, which we have the paid softwares, along with the we have free softwares. So considering not might be not today. So from till the last month or by previous month, Twitter can provide their data in a structured manner with free of cost, right? So they have one API. So if you go to the Twitter website, there is a tab called or option called developer. So when you open the tab, so there you can see a API. So a API where you that is kind of a credential to access the data from Twitter, right? So might be there are logged accounts. So from the unlocked accounts, like might be Mr. Prime Minister Narendra Modi have their account is unlocked. So if you want to gather the historical tweets from the Mr. Prime Minister's account, then with the help of API, so you can provide the Prime Minister account's name, then you can extract the information. So Twitter API can provide you the data to extract at a time, that is 10,000 records, around 10,000 records. So it was happened when I was working in the project 6 months back actually. So at the time I was collecting the data, which is we can consider it as primary, and at the same time we are considering it is already the available data. So client is already bought the data, you have to just extract it from there. So that's it. In that case, this is considered as secondary data because the data is already stored somewhere else. It is easily to available for me to extract the content. That's it. So sales reports, government report, and even in the government websites. So considering I want to forecast the weather, what will be the temperature, what will be the wind speed and rainfall to the next 1 month. I just want to forecast, or I want to analyze the data, the historical 10 years information, right? Then it will be difficult to find the data, right, in different websites. So if you're in the US, so we have a website called government website called Nova website. So there they will use to provide the data. You can download data with free of cost. And like in the same way, we have different government websites where you can extract the healthcare data, from each and every country, and weather data, and so on, so information we can extract. So and so on. So there are different ways we can gather the primary and secondary data. And in the project, we couldn't call whatever the data we are in the hand is primary or secondary. So we couldn't, we don't call the terminologies. Just like, okay, we want the data, so what is the source? That's how we communicate. So otherwise, we couldn't strictly call it's a primary data or it's a secondary data. But for our understanding, I'm just explaining what is the term of primary and secondary data, which you have, or which you don't, where you don't, when you don't have. Right. So this is about the types of data. And now we will be just jump on to the different concept. So far, is it clear, guys? I just want to understand from you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is the class. I'm just trying to make understanding of the terminologies about the data related to data only. So the categories and the structures of the data, the types of the data. And here, so we have the categories of the data. Actually, the data is classified into mainly two categories. One is qualitative and quantitative. So qualitative data is completely categorical, and quantitative data is about the numerical. I think actually we can stop the for the day, because actually it will be go long. So for a while. So we will be continue with the next class with easy of information and understanding. So at one particular day, if you are knowing about the multiple concept means, might be it will make some little bit confused. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So otherwise, if you want to continue, I can continue the topic. That's not an issue. So, but from the tomorrow, we can understand each and every the depth of the data concept, and also how interestingly there are different kind of scenarios we can find or figure out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So how you are feeling the first day? Does it